Hi there, traders. This is Brad Goodwood with the weekly kickoff. It's Monday, the 29th of April. All right, now just looking at the major currency pairs, there's, we've got some good setups this week and there's loads of good data. But just to interject, the BOJ looks like they may have been triggered here into intervening in dollar yen. Just having a look at the sort of general headlines, it's that trip of 160, the figure, right, is a 34-year low. Right. And it looks like this is either a tech glitch because it jumped up almost 200 points to start with, hit that level, and then it's sort of come back down, 340 points afterwards. Right. Very thin liquidity. There's not much. There's no word from the BOJ whether they were involved or not. So we just have to sort of wait and see. But just be aware, this is not too dissimilar to trading the sort of cryptos when you don't know what's happening and it becomes very loose. Now, the interesting thing here as well, it opened up today around 157.90. So on the day, it's down, oh my God, it's just jumped another 150 points down there. I was going to say it's down about 80 points, but that has just increased by another 100 points, right? So we're just waiting to see. I'm just having a look at the news updates at the moment. Still no confirmation that the BOJ are involved, but you've got to start to think about it, right? Now, getting into this trade at these levels is hugely precarious, okay? If you happen to be short, well, then so be it. But you're going to see 50, 60 point sort of bounces all over the place, and that's what we are seeing at the moment. So I'll come back to the yen in a second because that's going to be very interesting for all the yen crosses, okay? When you look across the board here, it is looking a little bit dodged. Some of the charts haven't updated. The Aussie yen hasn't updated. I can tell you it is down as well, as has CAD yen, right? So maybe this is the thing that kicks off the BOJ, gets everyone involved, and then we can start trading dollar yen with some sort of reasoning, right? If you look at the daily charts, just to get you back up to speed here on the big trend, it really needs to get back down below 152, right? A long way before it sort of really breaks that uptrend. I've seen the BOJ intervene, loads of times from 1990 onwards. It's always ended a basket case, right? They intervene and it goes back to where it was. Now, just coming back to the week ahead, we've got the dollar, it's still going up, right? The overall trend is up, euro down, sterling down, although you could almost say it's stabilized now, okay, with that move. Aussie back in the middle of the range and Kiwis coming back in the middle of the range, dollar CAD back in the range. So the dollar is up. This is what's going to be hard for the BOJ. They're wrestling with a strong dollar sentiment, okay? So this move could be very short-lived. Would I consider buying dollar yen? Not at these sort of current levels. But these are the longer-term trends, right? So this is what we're focusing on. The easiest move is with those opportunities. So a strong dollar, is that good? Well, it is, but we have to wait and see, funnily enough, how this BOJ ends up, right? Or if it is, in fact, the BOJ, because that could put a bit of a dent in the dollar. And the Americans, well, they'll be loving that, right? Makes them more competitive product-wise. So we've got a fair bit going on. And, all this kicked off not too long ago, so it's really changed the complexion of the sort of week ahead. Fundamentally, we do have a lot going on. Okay, you got some inflation figures out of Germany on Monday. You've got some Chinese numbers on Tuesday. We've got GDP, a bunch of numbers there on Tuesday as well. You've got the Fed on Wednesday. Now, that will be a key event, but with no changes expected, we'll have to wait and see. I think the ISM manufacturing data there is probably a better move, potential move. Now, the FOMC is the biggest event in the market with the BOJ coming online. I would think this is going to spice things up dramatically, right? I tell you what, when the yen is active, everything ignites. So this could be the start of something great. Friday, we've got the non-farm payrolls, right? So you're going to be working your way through the week. There's plenty of data. If I move that back to just include the second tier data, you can start to get some sort of scope of what is going on there. Okay, so and actually all these, just on that too, on this BOJ thing, the numbers here, okay, the BOJ, have they gone a bit too early? I don't know. But I'll tell you what, the data doesn't really suggest they needed to intervene. It's just the level of where it is. And they need to be seen to be proactively sort of trying to, not decrease their currency, increase the value for the whole global benefit. But if you scroll through the calendar this week, there is a huge amount of opportunities. Consider it the first week of the month. I know it's only the 29th of April, but you will find lots of bits and pieces, and that's going to really sort of kick things off. Now, just coming back over here to sort of see exactly what is going on. Let me just get my pen back. Okay, with the current markets and this sort of activity in the market. At the moment, we have a bit of a risk-on sentiment, okay, as far as the equities go. Whoa, bit of a blip there on the computer. So we've got a bit of a risk-on profile. You can see Euro, Sterling, Aussie, Kiwi up, and all the dollar pairs down. Now, that's going to be a part of this Bank of Japan potential intervention, right? So the as I said, it's just going to be as loose as a goose. I've seen the yen go up 20 cents in the matter of a couple of hours, back in the 90s, right? When it was sort of loose as a goose. So we're going to sort of see how this thing goes on a daily basis. Dollar yen is down, or the yen is down 0.1%, or up or down, right? So this is the yen relative strength. So it hasn't gone far relative to the day, to the open, but it has come a long way since hit that high at 160.03, I think it was. Right. So what does this do for the week ahead? Well, it changes things dramatically, right? Because this could actually, as I said, trigger a whole range of trading opportunities across all the crosses. And I'm not talking about just now, right? Of course, you're going to see some big moves across the markets and on the yen crosses. But what we're talking about is once this settles down, we'll be able to come into these instruments, work out where the key levels are, and then start to pick away at the opportunities. The danger is a 300-point bounce on the back of this, or even a 200, right? Because it will, it's just almost hit 156. It's back at 156.50. As I said, this is going to be jumping around 50 points. If you're planning on trading this, be prepared to have massive stop losses or drain your account, because I've seen it before. You can come unstuck here very quickly. But this is the focus of what is happening now. The key part is to sort of confirm whether it's the BOJ. It could be a technical glitch. We've seen this before on oil and a few other instruments where it just goes absolutely nuts, and you see these algos just go mental. So I would be waiting to see what happens there. If you have a look across the board here, the dollar itself is getting nailed, and that's the whole idea of this potential intervention, is to get the dollar down, right, against the yen, but it does generally impact everything. And that's where we are at the moment. All the other pairs, Aussie, Kiwi, well, Euro and Sterling are a bit mixed, but Aussie and Kiwi are enjoying the daylight at the moment. Okay, guys, so it's an interesting one, right? I tell you, it's so exciting when you start to see some things happen. Check out the intraday ranges here on the dollar. They are all at their lows, and they are all honking along, right? So very interesting to see, and we'll see how that really plays out as we get going. All right, guys, have a good one. Probably didn't make a lot of sense there, but there are lots of opportunities this week, and we'll keep you up to date as we go through each of the days. Cheerio.